Hi, I'm Peter Gordon, and this is Organizing Life's Daily Demands. I'm a daily money manager, and we help people pay their bills, file insurance claims. We do all the non-investment side of personal finance. And the purpose of this podcast is to introduce the listeners and the viewers to other professionals who help in organizing life's daily demands. And today, I have a wonderful guest, Sonya Weisshappel. How are you, Sonya?
Nice to see you, Peter.
Good
So
to see
lovely.
you. Yes, I'm excited about this. Sonya and I met a long time ago when I had a very different life. We might get into that, we might not, but let's talk about your business in Seriatim.
So Seriatim started when I was 23. I'm well into my 50s now. And so I've had this company for a long time. And it was all about taking care of people and their stuff. And it was about matching people to their objects. Because if you want to do something in your life, if it's difficult to do, you tend to not do it. One tends not to do it. And there are three categories in people's lives. There are tangible assets, there are files, which you deal a lot with, and then there are memorabilia. And almost everything relates to that. And in 2024, I published a book called Confessions of a Chaos Whisperer, and it was some of the stories related to trusted advisors and people not being organized and how it affected mostly end of life scenarios. And because of that, we know that knowing what you own is crucial. Knowing what you own in your paperwork so that you can handle that estate, handle that divorce, handle that big life transition with ease is one thing. But knowing the value of your tangible assets in your home, inventorying it, organizing it, appraising it, getting it so that you are properly insured, that's something that people don't do and is a very puts people in a vulnerable position for the crisis that will happen in some sort, not if it does.
Right. And if you follow what you're talking about, you could take out the word crisis.
Right.
So that's great. That's really great.
That's exactly right.
Well, tell us about the business itself.
So Seriatim deals with clutter, which is just chaos, deals with paper, and we move manage. So often when there is a life transition for someone, meaning they are retiring or they're divorcing or they're job transferring, when there's one of these life events, there typically is a real estate component. When there's a real estate component, that means your tangible assets, your files, and your memorabilia need to up and go somewhere. If they up and go somewhere, are you taking all of them? Are you taking some of them? Do you want to sell some of them? Do you want to donate some of them? Do you need to throw away some of them? Are you gifting them? All of that distribution and coordination and logistics is for Seriatim just another day. That's our organization. And there are organizers across the country. And one of the things that has set Seriatim apart is our working with the trusted advisors to make sure that people understand their financial picture and that there are no accidental assets or unknowns later.
That's great. No, and it's it's something I see all the time.
How so?
Well, the key term there for me is end of life.
Okay.
And while I'm not working with people in transition in the middle of their lives, but I'm working at the end of their lives. And people have very many times they've collected a lot of items and
Right.
they don't know exactly what they are and where and what that should be done with them and how to handle that whole process. And there's also, and that's certainly not an expertise of ours.
No, it's,
So,
but it is very important for you and people like you who you collaborate with to help that family or person, because as they're aging and taking ill and perhaps passing away in that transition while one's helping them, if the final directives are to equitably distribute the items in an estate, one has to say, well, what is this item worth? And it's one thing if there's only one heir. It's another when there's a family and siblings and stepwives and grandchildren and all
yes,
sorts of
which is
mess.
not uncommon with today's American family.
Modern families, no. So all of that, it's easier up the in the process to be sure. And people's insurance policies, we have found, are often 25 to 40% underinsured when they really figure out what they own, which is pennies on the dollar to resolve.
Exactly.
But it's penny wise, pound foolish to not have it in place, because look at California, God forbid, and look at the pipes burst in the winter. Do you have enough insurance? Do you even know what's in your space to make a claim?
Right.
So all of those stories are, for Seriatim and my team, kind of case studies, some of which we put in the book last year. But it is a constant conversation around education for knowing what you own.
Absolutely.
So that it can be managed.
Where can people get the book?
Oh, on Amazon.
Where everybody could get everything.
Yes. Yes.
Put a link
Everyone
to that
everything.
in the text version of the podcast or the video. So that's great.
Yeah,
That's
wonderful.
really interesting. Sonya, how did you get involved in this business?
In 1993, pre-cell phone, internet was just kind of eking through. It was dial-up. It was a time where you had to write your resume on a typewriter or a computer and get the paper just so. I had a hard time with that. And instead of doing that, because getting the paper and the resume in one order, but then writing the cover letter to pitch oneself to a potential employer, getting it in an envelope, all that stuff, that wasn't the mechanics of it, wasn't the problem. It was the content. And I had a hard time pitching myself. So somewhere in my 23-year-old brain, I thought it would be better to start a company. So I did.
Wow.
And you don't know what you don't know until you're in the middle of it. But it has been a journey of education, and to have met people like yourself probably 20 plus years ago.
Well, we met each other in a group where it was before I was in this business. I was in the design business.
And before that, when you were just leaving the cosmetic business into the design business.
Yeah. Well, we did that. I did it for companies in the cosmetic world. Yeah.
Yeah, because there was some shift. I remember you going through some big shift at that time.
I did.
Mm-hmm. I focus on shifts.
Right.
I don't know, but it's been an incredible journey, and it's been full of great contacts and collaborations, because really all of us have the same. Well, all the people that I stay in touch with have the same wish to protect people, to put them on the best track possible, to get them out of their own way. And the way Seriatim organizes people, either moving or in their space, wanting to feel less chaotic, that's our way of giving back.
that's the common denominator of all the guests on this program, is that they
Yes.
want help. They're not necessarily in it for the money. People definitely need to make a living, but the rewarding part is helping others. And that's exactly it.
Yeah, the enthusiasm to help others, the gift of doing a good job and making others feel good, that's a healing. That's really healing. And we
And
need some
those
healing in this world.
processes are all different between all the different clients. And some are more challenging than others, but
Oh, of course.
it's all worthwhile in the end.
Yeah.
So
And there are some clients who, no matter if you gave it to them for free and you did a perfect job, they're going to be in a state of discontent. And that's their world.
that's who they are.
That's who they are. You can't, and it's taken a long time to realize that that's actually, we did nothing wrong. They just need to be in that dark little spot.
Yeah, that's well, it's a skill to be able to deal with those people.
Yes.
We like to say we're 50% bookkeeper and 50% social worker.
And we do 50% organizer, move manager, and therapist is the other part.
There you go. Yeah,
Because you are talking people sometimes off the ledge mentally.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Especially, when you're going through a life change, like you're often dealing with people doing that. Absolutely.
Yeah, there's a lot of tears and sometimes anger, and then they calm down. But it changes like a storm for people.
Yeah, and the work you do is you're dealing with people in emotional states very often, I imagine. So
Yes, very intimate. Now, I am launching a division of Seriatim called Chaos Whisperer, and it's to plan and get organized so that the trusted advisors, the legal, the financial, and the real estate can manage that person better.
Wow.
Because I have found that people like yourself cannot do their best job if they don't know everything that they should be dealing with. And that the finance, the legal, and the real estate often don't collaborate. They are in their separate silos. And Seriatim's job has been to collaborate and to get the job done in the most organized and efficient manner, which often means being the glue to push that through.
Right. We have a very similar philosophy, and we say we're a spoke in the wheel.
Right.
And there's a team, and those are different spokes in the client's wheel, and we're there to support people. What's key for us is that we want to stay in our own lane. I want to organize their financial needs. I'm not interested in figuring out what the value is of something and how to take care of that. So that's why we would turn to you. And speaking of the value of items, why don't we talk about tangible items?
So tangible assets can be your pair of shoes, your nice green shirt, your glasses. It could be the chair you're sitting in. It could be your grandmother's china. It could be your kid's artwork. There are valuable tangible assets financially, and there are valuable tangible assets emotionally. And so first is what is there? And often people say, I have appraisals on what they think is important, which will be a fur, a piece of jewelry, a piece of art, a car, maybe a collection of wine, whatever it might be. But they omit everything else. And when you're dealing with that at an estate, that's a problem because you don't actually have a full picture of what's in the house. So if one, the exercise I often say is, okay, you're standing in your home, look around, look and see your plant, your lamp, your chairs, your closet, your everything. Look around. Now shut your eyes and open it and pretend nothing's there, that you're looking at an absolutely empty space. And you have to repurchase everything that used to be there. What's that worth? And that's when we figure out, through a process, of course, that people are underinsured. And it's a domino effect. Underinsured, you might be saving some money, but you're going to spend money when and if, and there's an issue. So tangible assets and understanding the volume, you don't have to insure everything. You don't even have to tell the insurance company you own it, but you need to make calculated decisions with your trusted advisors on the whole versus parts, because there's strategy related to how to deal. And most wealth managers aren't going to even bring it up because they don't have a solution for how to manage it or make any money on it.
Yeah.
But it costs them money when there is a problem with them.
Yeah. So, so the people the professionals that you work with have to have that similar mindset.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, after 30 years, you only want to play with the ones who actually get it.
Absolutely.
There's plenty of people for everyone.
I like that. Do you work with real estate agents?
We work, yes, our main referral sources and collaborators are real estate agents, any lawyer, and any person who touches a person's money. So daily money managers, wealth managers, family offices, accountants, and lawyers, divorce, business, real estate, the mergers and acquisitions. You need to know what you own in order to merge. And there's absolutely, because that merger and acquisition scenario, when there is tangible assets we did a manufacturing company in Long Island, actually, which had food. And there was a period where they can't close the deal until each side is sure about what is on the floor for packaging, raw material, and created items.
That's fascinating. That's real. I would never have thought that.
Yeah, no. Our Seriatim's work to help people understand what they own is organizing, is kind of the baseline. And then there's all these other layers of what I call true organizing and chaos whispering. The idea that you can actually get to a family tree with your memorabilia, that you can create a legacy film, that you can get it so that your paperwork can be archived and sent off to the right institutions at the time of passing, or that all of your trusted advisors get what they need, or your tangible assets get distributed to the right way, and that you have peace of mind that these three aspects of your life are not going to be a flaming pile of muck that you're handing your children.
Right.
Or your family.
Right. And you have to connect with those clients that have that vision.
Absolutely.
That's the important part.
It's actually, our clients have asked for this.
It's great.
And they've
for a few days, so
yeah, but they've grown up with us, because they come back over the years. But now I am being contacted to become an executor's assistant. That's what they're meaning. They write us into the will to be called upon to help distribute the estate on behalf of them so that their executor doesn't have to figure it out from the ground up.
Great.
It starts with an inventory.
Yeah, it all starts with inventory. Well, Sonya, this is really wonderful. It's very enlightening and informative. And we will certainly have this information in the text of the podcast and the video. Please tell us the best way to get in touch with you.
Well, I always think the phone, but we'll start with the
We're
phone.
old school.
I'm old school. It is true, but it's
But
212.
my first instinct is to pick up the phone.
Well, you get people's true character, and then you move on from there. 212-877-3267. But website works too. There's a contact us on there, and it's seriatim.net. So SERIATIM, which means in a series. So it's a series of steps. And our logo is kind of like people at their wits' end all the way to a hole. And green and blue for trees and water, because all part of the world.
Well, thank you very much. This is, as I said, very enlightening and helpful. And I look forward to working together in the near future. And everybody out there, I look forward to seeing you at our next video. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Peter.
You're welcome. Wow, that's great.